Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Kelsey Huber, and I am excited to share a presentation with you all today over effective instruction in the virtual classroom. How can we, as online teachers, ensure success with our program? All right, as we go through this today, please don't hesitate to ask questions along the way, offer any ideas, tips for everyone. There are, I'm sure with all of us in here together, we can definitely get some awesome ideas today. So let's go ahead and get started. Our goal today is to discuss ways that we can create a quality online education experience. And we can do that by creating first effective instruction. But how do we do it? I did a lot of research and I felt that four of the main factors that you need in order to give effective instruction is that first we have to make sure that we are mastering our software system. This includes Blackboard, where we hold our Class Connect sessions, and also D2L, basically the online class shell, where you are posting your assignments. Students are going in there and going through the content. Everything is available right there. So we absolutely have to make sure that we can master that. We should also, of course, have clearly defined learning objectives. And that also includes having well articulated expectations. We are, online, and so many of our students are brand new to this experience. And so it's very important that from the beginning they understand what the expectation is for their online education. Also, it's really important that we have constant engagement and interaction. So today I am going to review these four, I feel like they are tips, in order to ensure that you succeed in your online teaching career. So up first, mastery of the software system. This is going to take time, but it is absolutely essential to being able to provide our students with everything they need. You have to take the time to learn the system, and you aren't going to learn until you get in there and you practice. The best way to really kind of understand the ins and outs of Blackboard and, being the moderator. A lot of us have used Blackboard in college, but we've never really used it as the moderator. And so understanding the different tools embedded within these programs is so important. A really great tip, which I was always kind of weary of, is that you can actually have student moderators. These are students that really understand the program, and we know our kids, some of them are just these tech wizards. Sometimes they are constantly teaching me things, how to do this, how to do that. I still remember when I first went back to when I first started, it was just so overwhelming. And those students that had, were veteran learners in the online world, they, told me how to do everything. And those kids can really help even guide you. I know it's crazy to think your students are teaching you how to use the program, but it is possible. They are very, very helpful. We also have a Weebly, a wonderful website that you can go to, and we have how-to videos on there that you can check out. Really any problem that would arise with any of the software that you are having issues with, you can probably find a solution to that on our school Weebly, and I will give you that account info at the end of today's session. And through my research, I found a few quotes that I want to share with you today. And this one is in regards to the software system and the importance of understanding it and really, getting it 100% to where the students, you are the master. You know what you are doing, because if we don't know what we are doing, our students will pick up on that, okay? So this quote here was from an article that I read, and it said, if a course as loaded into the CMS does not properly fit the structure of the system or fails to utilize key system features properly, it will appear to the students and others as clumsy and unprofessional. And obviously, we all want to avoid that, especially considering, this is how you are starting your year off with these students. And so making sure that they see, that you have really mastered that system is very, very important. Up next is having clearly defined learning objectives. These need to be student friendly, right? And it's nice if you are able to kind of come up with your own phrase, to write these each day and to, explain these objectives to the students. We want them to really be able to understand, okay? So for example, mine says, I can and I will. And then by the end of this lesson, what can we and will we be able to do? And I will show you actually my slide for my objectives that I use every day here on the next slide. Having these clearly defined objectives can answer two important questions in online learning. First off, these students need to understand, what is the goal? What do you want from them? Okay, teaching in the online world can be, it can have a lot of gray area. And if we do not tell our students exactly what the goal is and what is most important to them each and every day that they come to our class, they aren't going to care, okay? And so the way that an instructor ultimately focuses and justifies anything he or she does with online coursework is in terms of its appropriateness to the related learning objectives. Every single thing that we choose to include in our instruction each day has to have a purpose, and it should be following these learning objectives. So here's an example of my slide that I use. So every day we have this, they see it, we review this together, and notice I have it in very student-friendly language, okay? So I'm basically breaking those standards down and, just putting it into language that the students can understand. So I can and I will. Now, like I said, I'm sure a lot of you guys have your own statements that you like to use. This is just a sample, and you feel free to take it. Does anybody want to share their I can statements maybe? Is that what a lot of us use? Does anybody use anything else? If so, share it with us. Let us know. All right. Having those well-articulated expectations, and this really goes hand in hand with those learning objectives. We have to have expectations for participation, engagement, in the online chat, any type of board activities that we do on the board, any discussions that we hold in class, homework, attendance. These are all things that we do even in brick and mortar, but they're actually I just feel that they're so much more important in the online world, because these students, it's really hard to get their attention, to ensure engagement. We've really got our work cut out for us. And so setting those clear expectations from the beginning of the year in regards to these things is very, very important. And so down here from the Online Education Forum article, they stated, it is critical for the online teacher to keep track of directives given to individual students and make sure that responses are consistent and repeated for everyone in the class. So not only are you reviewing these expectations at the beginning of the year, but you are constantly reminding them. Almost every single day, I am having to tell my students, hey, you guys, this is how you participate. This is how you show me that you are engaged. Constant reminders for those students is going to help them understand what you are expecting from them. I found this really, really I just resonated with this quote here. It said, guiding the students communicating about the subject matter, fostering collaborative learning, and managing student expectation about the course on every level are the hallmarks of excellent online teaching. And completing these things, this is going to help you to really deliver that effective instruction that these students need. All right. So probably one of the most difficult things in the online world is keeping our students engaged. And how can we do that? I try, not to, spending the entire class session lecturing. Absolutely not. We need to be giving these students more activities. Things I like to do in my class, I like to give lots of polling questions. This is going to ensure that your students are on task, following along with you. Doing checks for understanding, constant checks for understanding. We have to do this. And not only just, hey, do you have any questions, but asking specific questions in order to check for that understanding. You can do board activities such as matching, highlighting, doing different discussions. And so I'm actually going to share with you a few examples and ideas for keeping our students engaged. So first up, polling questions. Obviously, this is an easy, quick check for understanding. It ensures student participation, and it's also a really great way to start a discussion. Oftentimes, students that rarely speak in class, when they've got a question up there, a polling question, it's really going to allow them to get out there and let their voice be heard. So I have a video to share with you actually that I have from one of my classes, so you can see what these polling questions look like and how it helps to ensure engagement and participation in the classroom.
All right, so we're going to get ready to use our polling tools here. Let's get ready to use those polling tools. And these questions are kind of hard, guys, because we know that some of these words we're kind of unfamiliar with. So right here, and this is paraphrasing. How can we paraphrase this line right here? He says, and every fair from fair sometimes declines. So in sonnet 18, this can be restated as which of the following? Would we say that the speaker's health is failing? Over time, beauty fades. C, eventually even the most noble love loses its strength. Or D, the woman's beautiful face will never age. Uh, 10 more seconds. Amaya, Cole, Eliza, Ethan, we're waiting on a response from you. Kaylin, Marshall, Sam, remember, even if we're unsure, we still want to make sure that we respond. Xander. Awesome job. So we've got quite a few people that are choosing an incorrect response. So we need to talk about this. All right, here we are. So the correct answer indeed was B. So for those of you that chose B, over time beauty fades. Ding, ding, ding. Great job. You guys got it correct. So, and every
All right, so in the video, you can see how I was calling on those students that weren't responding, reminding them, hey, even if you are unsure of the question, you still need to choose a selection to let me know that you are there, you are attempting. This ensures complete participation and helps with engagement as well. I just want to share with you a few more things that I do in my classroom in order to ensure engagement. And again, if you guys have any other tips or tricks that you want to share with all of us here, feel free to put it in the chat. I would love to share some more ideas as well. So here's an example of a slide that I used at the beginning of the year. This practices with students using tools and staying engaged. They had to place an emoji or circle answers on the board. So I am making sure everybody's participating here. I can see their answers, and this also helps to spark a great discussion and conversation. Next, using the chat. So we want our students, online is already can be so impersonal. It's very hard to make those connections when we are not face to face with our students, right? And so encouraging the students to talk, right? Sometimes it's so difficult just to get our students to talk. I always encourage them to use the chat. So sometimes we'll do, just to kind of kick things off for the day, send a private chat to the person whose name is above yours with your answer. This, helps the students to kind of get to talking with maybe somebody they've never talked to. And even if it is just via basically kind of a text, we're still able to make those connections, and we're showing that the students are engaged. Another thing I like to use a lot is called waterfall, where I ask students a question. Everybody puts their answers in the chat. And once I say waterfall, everyone hits enter at the same time. And then it truly looks like a waterfall of answers. And this, is showing I need full participation here in order to complete this waterfall. And students really, really like that. It's always a fun thing to do. Just like in brick and mortar, you can do turn and talk in the online world as well. Partnering those students up with someone and allowing them to, work together, read, share on the mic or on the paper. Okay, all of these things you can do. So would you rather live in a cave or live in a treehouse, and why? So their directions, say hello to your partner. Partner one will share and partner two listens and responds, or partner two shares and partner one will listen and respond. Notice too, I have there on the board to give me a green check when you are complete. That is checking for understanding, making sure that they don't have questions, and making sure that they are on task. Another thing you can do to ensure engagement is put students into breakout rooms. This is where they would be in a private room to work and discuss. Sometimes we can do group work in breakout rooms, partner work, and you can even require them to screen share when they are in there as well, in order to make sure that they are actually on task and working. Now, what if a student is not participating or engaged? This is, just oftentimes it's just one of the hardest parts of the online teaching. How do we keep our students engaged? And if they aren't, what do I do? So we have what is called a missing in action room, MIA room. And basically this is, it's almost kind of, like it's a private room where the students are sent it's going to catch their attention, because obviously their screen is going to change. This is what I use. So once students are placed into the breakout room, this is what they see. Why are you here? Well, you weren't participating. You arrived late to class, or you weren't responding fast enough. And I will always say students' names before putting them into the breakout room. I will send them private chats, and if they are not participating or getting back to me at all, then I am definitely going to be moving them to this place and go in and try to contact them again. So, how to be effective in the online classroom? Again, I feel these 4 things will help you to succeed. We have to have those expectations, constant engagement, and making those interactions with these kids. We've got to have clearly defined learning objectives. And then lastly, of course, or first, mastery of the software system. Understanding how to do all of these things will ensure you are able to succeed in the online classroom. So, if you have questions, I'm going to stick around here. I would love to help you guys out, share any other ideas with you guys. You can also feel free to email me at kehuber@k12.com. And with that, that is all I have. Thank you so much for your time and participation in class. And I hope that your students, if you are able to get through all of this and, follow these steps, I have no doubt in my mind that you will be able to succeed and have effective teaching in the online classroom. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.